morning, and thank you for joining us on ABC-7 at 5. I'm Paul Cicala.
And I'm Stephanie Valle. Today, ABC-7 has complete coverage of the El Paso Locomotive FC game against FC Juarez.
And of course, the El Paso Locomotive FC says that the Derby Paso del Norte game aims to celebrate the shared culture that we have on both sides of the border. Of course, FC Juarez being from south of the Rio Grande, or Rio Bravo as they call it, south of the border. And of course, us here on this side of the border with El Paso Locomotive FC.
And this is the first time in history that the teams are playing in front of a crowd here in El Paso. So it is promising to be a fun and energetic night and a sold-out crowd as well.
And we want to remind all our viewers, it is sold out, so if you can't make it to the game, no worries. We have you back here on ABC-7. The El Paso Locomotive versus FC Juarez game is right here, as mentioned, on KVIA on ABC-7, and our coverage is going to begin at 7 p.m. Kickoff is actually set for around 7:30 p.m. We're also going to live stream the game on KVIA.com and the KVIA News app. And of course, it is considered a friendly matchup, but it is far from friendly in many ways because both teams from both sides of the border want to win this one in a battle for border bragging rights.
We could call this a sibling rivalry. How about that?
I like it because we're sister cities.
Exactly. Andrew Forrest, the El Paso Locomotive FC General Manager and Business and Technical Operations Manager, is joining us now live to talk about this matchup. So first of all, thanks for being here.
Absolutely.
Can you tell us just what went into making this match happen here in El Paso?
Well, ownership said they wanted us to play a match, so we're playing a match. No, a little bit more than that. It's been years in the making. This is something we've always wanted to do, but our schedules really prohibit us. They have a very disparate schedule than we do, and then obviously with baseball about to start, there's a lot of games that go on there. So finding the time and the space has really been the biggest prohibitor, but we made it a point to do this and figure this out for this year, and we couldn't be happier, and we could see that the crowd responded to that.
And we know it's a friendly matchup, but these teams share ties from both sides of the border. I know their season is almost over with, and I'm talking about FC Juarez, but it's not uncommon for you here in El Paso to get some of the players that play for that First Division Mexican League team to play here on loan, so to say. Talk about that, and are there any players on the FC Juarez team that you plan on picking up during their off-season?
I'm not sure that there's any plans at the moment to pick up anybody from the offseason, but we did in January get 3 loans from FC Juarez, 2 Mexicans and 1 Uruguayan. One from Javi Navarez, who will start tonight for us, is from Juarez. So there's a lot of close ties that are literally bridging the gap, the proverbial gap and the literal gap between our 2 cities and our 2 clubs. And you said, we're sister cities. We're also sister clubs with shared ownership groups. So we're really excited to see both teams put on a real show tonight, and I think it's up for grabs. But I'm certainly hopeful that Locomotive win this one.
I just got to ask you, how excited are you to know that this game is sold out?
There's no better feeling than someone in my position to know that your game doesn't have any tickets left available. We don't necessarily get to say that all the time, so to be able to shout that from the rooftops tonight is really special. And the fact that it's against our sister club, but 2 clubs that are in the same stable, so to speak, is really, really exciting.
All right, well, we appreciate it, and we'll check in with you a little bit later. Well, I know you're very, very busy, so actually we won't, but thank you again for joining us live. And remember, the doors are about to open at 6 o'clock here for the big matchup between FC Juarez and, of course, your El Paso Locomotive FC.